Elia presents Talking. We're here to talk sports with my bro, my young Paul Kim, entrepreneur
What it
slash
do?
music genius slash sports enthusiast and plant lover. Man, I want to go straight into it, man. The NBA bubble, right? I mean, we've talked a lot about the NBA bubble. Do you
Yep.
think the season's actually going to end with the champ at the end?
If you asked me that question, I'd say like a week or two ago, I would have said no. I don't know. Seeing some of the stuff that's out there now, they're saying they tested everybody and nobody had it. The only way that it will work is if everyone complies. If one person doesn't comply and messes up, the whole thing is ruined.
You know what I don't get about the statistics they send out is they only send out the players. Like we never see like the staff or
Right.
like, cause like I'm assuming if a coach, a trainer, or staff, media, and whoever's serving in the hotel, if one of them tests positive, they have to probably leave. And
Right.
I don't think I've seen a single statistic of any of, cause like I'm assuming they're getting tested too, cause that seems pretty risky to have them in there.
One of the things that I saw was they're making. I mean, that's why Dwight got snitched on. They're making everybody when they're like on the resort wear a mask, and then everyone has to be 6 feet apart. They have those bands, or like it's like a thing that when you're too close, it goes bing, bing, bing. And I'm saying to myself, these guys are like rubbing on each other's bodies for like 3 hours for like every game. What's the point of wearing a mask and being 6 feet apart when you're going to be literally like licking that guy's sweat for like 3 hours?
Yeah.
So I don't really understand what the point of all that is.
It might be just for show. It could be. It could be just for show. Like, you don't think they're visiting each other's rooms? Like, are we?
Right,
really,
of course.
Are we? Yeah.
I mean, they're at least playing video games.
Oh,
you know.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. There's no way. Do you think it's better how the NBA is doing it with the bubble than how NFL and the MLB and I mean pretty much every other sports league are doing it?
I do agree. I just saw that with the NFL, they are going to have fans.
No, really?
Yeah, they're going to have fans in the stands as long as their states, their home states, say that it's okay.
What?
So they're still selling tickets for games for certain teams.
So you're saying if you play the Dolphins, in Florida, they're going to have fans in the seats, and probably the Seahawks. I'm assuming they're not going to have people in the stands. That's crazy. What?
Yeah, I just saw teams like put out these huge press releases saying during the games this whole season, every fan must wear a mask. And then there were all these people in the comments saying, I'm done with the NFL. I'm never going to a game. They won't see $1 of my money ever again. I'm like, shut the hell up, dude.
It's always people with like 17 followers who say that.
Right.
Whoa, that is insane. Because I've been watching the MLB. The MLB started yesterday, and they got like fake fans sitting around, which is funny to me too. Because like those people behind home plate, they got pictures. It's like all diverse on purpose. They're not sitting.
They even have dogs.
Do they really? I did not see that.
They have dog cut. Like you can actually buy your dog's picture to be put back there.
Wow. I know the NBA is gonna pick fans so they can watch live and their video will show.
Right, and then
that's pretty innovative. Yeah.
I mean, it's cool, but they had that for the draft. I thought that was kind of awkward because it's so like delayed. So if somebody dunks, you'll see a fan cheering like 5 seconds later. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what I actually noticed from watching at home is like if the announcer is whack, it just looks bad, regardless of whether there's a fan or not. Because like your A's, they hit a walk-off grand slam today to win. Right. And the announcer was so bad, it just seemed like nothing. But I saw this one, someone hit a home run. The announcer was going nuts, and I was like, "Oh, this feels the same." Right. But I was like, "Oh man, was that the A's announcer? Do you know?"
Yeah, it was. It was all over Twitter, and there were people saying that he was so shocked that he didn't know how to react.
There's no way an announcer should not know how to react to a good play. There's no excuse for that. Oh, sorry, I'm just hating. Wow. I mean, you beat the Angels, and I hate the Angels.
Me too.
I mean, but I mean, it's because the NBA is finishing a season, not starting a season. But it just
Right.
seems like a bubble is a better idea than to have. Oh well, I don't think it's possible for baseball and football to do it just because there's too many damn players. Like it's just too many
That's
people to put
true.
in a bubble for all the teams. Like that, I
Yeah,
don't,
that is
I don't
true.
even know if that's possible to be honest. Like I thought of Hawaii as a destination. Someone was like, "Nah, you can't. Like you can't put all the teams in there. Like that doesn't make any sense." And yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like to be honest, I guess that's the answer to everything right now. Is I don't know, right?
Yeah,
We don't
everything's
know.
changing. Everything's
Yeah.
always changing.
Yeah, and every week we feel different about stuff. Um,
Hmm.
so I know your opinion on this, but I'm gonna ask anyways. Are is a champion? Is there gonna be an asterisk next to it?
I mean that I think that there has to be. Most of these guys haven't played any ball in like 3 months. Um, some of the rosters are not the same as they were when they shut down.
Oh yeah, the nets, the
Um,
bubble nets.
yeah. So I don't know. I think as we look back, I mean, so they would have only played like what 60 regular season games or so, maybe like 65.
Do you hold teams to that? Like, what is it? The 50-win Spurs season championship and the was it 66 games at the Miami Heat, the first one? You put an
Hmm.
asterisk next to those championships?
I think 98. Yes, 98 was that lockout year.
Yeah.
Um, I watched most of that season, and it was odd. I didn't think that the Spurs would even be remotely close to getting to the final, and that's the year that the
The
Knicks got there
Knicks. Yeah,
too,
yeah. No way we thought the Knicks
as
were
the
making
eighth
this.
seed,
Yeah.
right? As the
Yeah.
eighth seed. So yeah, for sure that for me personally, 98 definitely has a huge asterisk because I didn't think the Spurs were going to win it, or the Knicks would even get to the finals either.
You know, I don't remember vividly. Do you remember who the favorites were going into that season? Like it had to have been what Miami was really good.
That was
The Heat were
Miami
really
for
good.
sure. The Heat were like
Yeah.
really good. So that was the
I think
98, 99 season.
The Jazz were still pretty good because they
Yep.
just made two finals in a row.
Yep.
Um, dude, to be honest, like the lockout really pissed me off because that's when Vin Baker came 50 pounds overweight. And like he forgot how to play basketball after that lockout. Like I don't know what happened during that lockout, but like I mean Sean Kemp wasn't on our team no more, but like he just completely lost it after that. That lockout killed a lot of careers. It was killer.
Yeah,
I mean,
that year sucked for me because that was the year that we had a really high pick, Antoine Jameson.
was that? Oh, it
And
was. You're
yeah, that
right.
was the year.
You're
That was the
right.
year that we traded Vince
Yes.
for Antoine.
Yes.
And he had a terrible rookie season because obviously there was that lockout. He
Yeah.
just looked like trash, and I was
Yeah.
like, ugh,
Yeah.
this season sucks.
Right. Right. That was okay. So that actually leads really well into my next thing. If I mean, I don't know how much you care now that we know that they didn't win the championship that year, but if the Warriors 73 game season, the 73 win season, let's say hypothetically, if that season ended with a championship and you were on pace to break the record this year, how angry would you have been due to all this? Like, did that season
Oh
matter
yeah,
to
I
you?
mean,
Yeah, it means something different now, right?
for sure. Yeah, I mean, if that happened to me this year, wow.
Yeah, right.
I don't know how I would even feel about the whole thing. Especially 'cause then everybody would be like, even if they win, that's a huge
Yes.
asterisk, right?
Yes. Yes.
So,
Yes. Which I imagine is how Bucks fans feel right now.
oh yeah,
Like
for
I
sure.
don't I
Bucks
don't
were
think
having a great season.
yeah, I don't think Laker fans care whatsoever. I think this is the worst year, I mean in terms of legacy for the Bucks or the Clippers to win.
Clippers, I agree.
Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah. If
Yeah.
they win, or let's say the Rockets, like with Mike D'Antoni, like it just, yeah. The only team that could really just go is probably the Lakers, and LeBron's probably not going to care, and he's just going to move on. But every other
Oh,
team,
he's gonna if the Lakers win, you're gonna see Bron hoisting the trophy, crying, saying, "I earned this, LA. This is for you." Like And then every day for the whole off season, he's gonna be showing these workout videos of him getting all swole and with his trophy.
Can I ask you a question? If one of your teams won the championship, would you go out to the championship parade?
No, hell no,
Okay.
hell no.
I
Well, I
got
mean, like right now, hell no.
yeah, yeah.
During the pandemic, no, I'm not. I don't even
Well,
care if
okay,
I'm
so
wearing a mask. I'm not
when is the
going.
NBA season over? October, right? So October and you guys
Yeah,
win. You right, you still know, right? No, I
hell
agree with
no.
you. I agree with you. I wouldn't.
Couldn't pay me to go to a parade.
What if that was your first parade, first championship in your life? Still no?
I can stream that. I can stream that online. I can watch
Oh,
it
yeah,
over and
yeah, yeah, for
over
sure.
if
For
I
sure.
want
For
to.
sure. For sure. No, I'll save this for next week. I'm doing Tom next week. And I asked him the same question. His answer was different from you. Let me see if his answer is still the same. Let me get it on record. Because he was like, no,
That's
I'm going out. I'm like, all right, we'll see. All right, so definitely straight into the Golden State Warriors, man. Do you have a favorite Warriors memory? Because
oof,
you
good
lived through a lot
question.
of Warrior teams. Like, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess excluding championships, because obviously that's right at the top. If you could exclude
Right, right.
championships, do you have a favorite Warrior memory?
I mean, even if you include championships,
Mm.
I would still probably pick that 2007 season
Is that
where
the We Believe team with
where the
Barron and
eighth
yeah,
seed Warriors beat the one seed Mavs in 6 games, and it should have
that
been five. Honestly,
that was so fun to watch. That was so fun to watch.
I mean,
I had so much
that
fun watching
series
that.
for me, oh, I was so invested in that team in terms of every guy, just every play, every made bucket. I was screaming my like lungs out.
It's
So
too
I
bad.
think
It's too bad we didn't have
that
stories then.
season,
It's too bad we didn't have IG stories then. It would have been
yeah,
it would have been
there was
nuts.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think we even had Facebook yet. It might have been for only college kids back then.
Yeah, I was in college when that came. I remember. Yeah,
Hmm.
I had. But like you weren't posting those things on your social media pages yet.
Right, right.
Like it was a different way. Sports are viewed so differently now. Like online and everything. Like a bunch, even you two. Like during games, I feel like I'm watching the game with you because like we're seeing our reactions and we're going back and forth,
Right,
and
right, right.
it's a totally different way of looking at it. I think yeah, that that Warriors team, and then you guys played who, Utah after that or something like that. It was somewhere in
Yeah,
there,
the
right? Yeah.
next series was Utah, and man,
I wanted you guys
like
to win so bad. I wanted you know I've never liked Utah Jazz, but like
I cried. I cried when we lost Game Five. I remember exactly where I was when I watched Game Five, and I
oh
cried.
no.
I remember exactly where I was.
Okay.
I was in Irvine. I was in Irvine watching the game with my college friends, and I cried.
This is gonna seem like a silly question to new Warriors fan, but you've been a Warriors fan so long. Out of all the memories, do you have a least favorite or most hurtful Warriors memory?
Ooh, there's a lot. I mean, I
I
think
know, yeah, yeah,
how
yeah.
shitty the team has been. Yeah, I think the Spreewell choking PJ Carlissimo incident. that one that one hurt. Like I was in class and our teacher was like, "So did you guys see the news today?" I was like, "What happened?" And then because Spreewell tried to kill PJ
PJ
Carlissimo. We're like, "What?"
Carlesimo. I have a two-part story.
That one hurt.
I have a two-part story to that thing. Number one was my dad used to make me vacuum before we start work every
Hmm.
every day, and every time I'm done, and my motive to like clean fast was to read the paper because I wanted to read the sports because back
Hmm.
then like that's how you got the news either on
Right,
ESPN.
right, right. And stats and
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
right. So I remember that story popping up on the Seattle Times, and I had to reread it like 3 times to actually believe what I was reading. I was like, he choked PJ Carlissimo. And then when we hired PJ years down the line for the Sonic staff,
Remember
I was
that.
like, no, like imagine how angry someone had to have been to choke a coach. Just, oh man.
Yeah,
And
that one.
he never had a good record really anywhere he went. Like he just, I don't know how these guys keep getting jobs. You ever think about that? Like these coaches who do bad, they get fired, and then like a few years later, they get hired by the New York Knicks.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
Yeah, Knicks. Yeah.
it's just, oh man, I find it strange how they keep finding jobs.
that one, and then so I'd say the most hurt I've ever been as a Warriors fan was the day that we traded Chris Webber to the Washington Bullets. That day for
Oh,
me, that day for me was just like devastation.
oh man. This is gonna blow it for I have a few questions for you games later. And hearing that is like, oh, now I know his answer immediately. It's like, oh, because that Chris Webber picture of you, excuse me, is amazing. The throwback, the vintage one.
Oh yeah, I love
How
that jersey.
how old were you when you got it?
11, 12.
What in the
Must have
world?
been like 11.
And you could still fit it?
Um,
That's
but
crazy.
that's when that was the 90s where
Oh,
everything was like
right.
super
Everything was baggy.
baggy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Everything was like a long dress. That was a $40 replica champion jersey that I got at Champ Sports.
Dude, those are
So
worth
that jersey
so
actually
much
holds a
now.
lot of meaning to me because I begged for that. I begged for that for my Christmas gift. I begged and I begged. My parents were like, "We can't afford it." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Please, please."
Yeah.
And you think back now, it
Yeah.
was $40, but like
Yeah.
back then, they're like, "We can't afford it. We
Right.
can't afford it."
Right.
And then like during Christmas, they actually got it for me and they actually like gave it to me. I was like,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. I I've told you my Penny Hardaway jersey story in person. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, I begged for that jersey too. There are a few jerseys I didn't beg for that my mom got me. That was like super clearance on Ross, the Sharif Abdul-Rahim Vancouver Grizzlies jersey. Like, but yeah, yeah, I think all my most like memorable gifts in my life, they're not like super expensive, but like the ones that meant so much. Well, I mean,
Right, right,
a
right.
$40 jersey then, that's a pretty expensive gift now I think of it. Never mind. That's a pretty
Yeah,
expensive.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, that's man, that's crazy. All right. Now we're gonna go into like my least favorite topic because it's the 49ers. Man, I thought
How dare you?
I debated heavily talking about the Niners, but like I got, I don't know if it's because we live in the West Coast. I got so many friends who are 49er fans, it drives me nuts. Um,
And vice versa.
yeah, that's true for you. You have a lot of Seattle friends. Do you have a true rival in your mind? Like when I was a kid, before the Seahawks joined the AFC or the NFC, I always thought it was like the Niners versus Cowboys, like good versus bad
Hmm.
type of in my head. Do you have a rival now that you think of, like your least favorite or the team that you want to beat the most every year?
Yeah, now it's definitely the Seahawks.
Is it? Okay, because like I
Of
can't ever
course, yeah.
tell if it's like we hate you guys more than you hate us, and you're just annoyed of Seahawk fans. But I can't tell.
Okay, I'll be real with you. The only reason why I have such resentment towards your team is because I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about
Yeah,
other people from your city
yeah, yeah.
who, for sure, know nothing about football. And during that during that run, I mean, it's even to
Oh,
this
yeah,
day,
yeah,
there's so many people that are from Seattle that don't know anything about football, and they were every single game, yeah, Seahawks, 12th man,
yeah.
they're all getting their jerseys, and like every time like we lost to them, they would be like, fuck the Niners, and I'm like, bro, you don't even watch football, like.
Hmm.
So that was one of the things for me was I never actually hated the Seahawks until I saw people who don't like football like talk shit to me.
You
You
know,
know
you know
what I
what's
mean?
interesting is like I never thought a Seattle team would ever be so good that we have so much bandwagon fans. I never
Mm.
thought a team could ever be that good. But I mean, I get it. Like, I understand. I'm sure you felt the same way with Warrior fans too. Like, there were people that I've never seen watch basketball that all of a sudden
Oh,
were, yeah,
Warriors.
it was Steph
The
Curry jerseys
Warriors,
everywhere.
right. The Warriors' success kind of ruined the magic for me because of the fact that there are so many random people like everywhere in town. It's like, yeah, Warriors. I'm like, how long have you been a fan? Oh, like 3 years. I'm like,
Right,
the fuck?
right.
Or even when the Kings were good,
Yeah,
because we're only
yeah,
like hour and a half away.
yeah.
Everybody was a Kings fan, and I'm
Ah,
like, dude, how dare you? How dare
was
you jump ship and go to the Kings?
was that painful to see Chris Webber do really well with the Kings?
Uh,
Like, was
it
there any
wasn't.
point?
It wasn't because at least there was that buffer where he was in Washington for those years.
Uh huh.
Um, what hurt for me was when they were good, like in the early 2000s. Like this is like 99. This is like
Yeah,
2000,
yeah,
2001,
yeah, yeah,
2002, and
yeah.
3. Every time the Kings played us at our home stadium, there were more Kings fans in
Mm,
Oakland.
mm.
That one hurt for me because I'm like, what? Like, what do you? And those are all people that are from here, you know?
Hey man, I've seen some bad sports teams throughout the years. Like I went to a Sonics Phoenix Suns game. Oh, I must have been 20 or 19. So what is that? 2005, 2006 ish. And there were more Suns fan because Steve Nash is from Vancouver, Canada, and they all came down with the Canadian flag, and it
Oh,
was. My dad was like, "Why are there so many Suns fans? Like they're so far." And I was like, and then what? Why Canadian flags? My dad fell in love with Steve Nash that day, man. He loved those short players, like players that are 6'2" ish. But yeah, it was yeah, that's tough when that happens. And then when your team gets good, the resale value of the tickets are so expensive. And I mean, I can't stand it. How far do you think you're gonna go with Jimmy G? Like, do you think Super Bowls actually? You think you can win a Super Bowl with Jimmy G?
damn. See, now you're asking me questions where I have to be honest, or I have to actually like,
Should
I
I
have to
save
be
it for
honest.
later after you've had a few more drinks in you?
Well, no, no. I mean, I'm perfectly fine answering the question. It's okay. So I wanted Jimmy G way before he was even a Niner. Like he was on my radar. Like
When he was on the Patriots.
right. Like I was one of those people that like trade for him, trade whatever it takes, like trade like 2, 3 first round picks, just get him. And everyone
Because
was
he looked
like,
real good
they'll
there. Yeah, he looked real
yeah.
good. Yeah, he looked real good.
Everyone was like, they'll never trade him, especially to us, blah blah blah. And then we got him for a second round pick. And so I'm sitting here screaming and hollering like, we got Jimmy G. And he wins like what 8 straight games during
Yeah,
that like
I remember.
so I'm
I remember.
like
We
this
we
guy
played you
is the
we played you
next.
guys at the end of the season, and I think he only
Hmm.
played a few quarters, and he looked so good. I was a little worried. I was a little worried for future seasons. It was yeah.
Yeah, so I was so hyped. Like I was like, this guy is the next Joe Montana. I
Oh
was
my god.
so hyped.
Oh my god.
If you watch the way he throws, it looks very similar, very very
He
similar
has very good poise, and
release.
yeah, he's yeah. Oh man.
and and then he tears his freaking ACL against the Chiefs.
All right, let me phrase this question better. Do you think he will have a better 49er career than Jeff Garcia?
Yeah, that's a great. Where did you come up with that? That's a good
Off the
question.
top, I didn't even write that down. Yeah, I
That's
was
a
just, yeah.
really good question because Jeff Garcia gets a lot of hate here. He gets a lot of hate here because he followed Montana
Oh,
and Young.
but
You
he
know what
was
I mean?
good. He was good.
But he was
Yeah,
really good.
yeah.
I mean, he's only like 5'10". He's actually not even 6 feet.
No, really?
I've seen him out
What?
at bars all the time. He's short. He's like a good 2, 3 inches shorter than
Wow.
me. He's short.
Wow. He was
Um,
good.
he got a lot of hate because he had to follow Montana and Young,
Yeah,
but he was really, really good.
yeah.
But how far did he take us? I mean, what I think we only had one playoff run with him in 2000, or it was 2002, two-ish, 2002 or 3. So we only had one like playoff run with him.
Uh-huh.
That was the one where I think we were down like 24 points to the Buccaneers. I mean, that was that a wild card game? I think it was. So we only had one magical run with Jeff Garcia. So I think Jimmy G is going to take us like a lot further than that. But to answer your question, is he better than Jeff Garcia? I don't know. I don't know.
That's tough. I mean, I don't really think there's another team other than Seattle and SF right now in our division. I really don't. Like, I think the Rams blew their chance, and I think I I
I agree.
I don't think. I mean, they might have like an not an off year, a good year if one of our teams have bad injuries that they could sneak in. But I don't see it. I don't even see them being better. I'd rather be the Cardinals than the Rams right now. Like I don't even think. That's crazy how
Yeah,
fast
no,
it
I
turns.
agree.
Yeah, it's insane. Uh, you lost Sanders, right, this year? I think he went to the
Hmm.
Saints.
Went to the Saints, that bastard.
I, you know, I'm trying to think, which is weird because I never think about how can the Niners be successful. Because, I mean, he was incredible with Jimmy G. When that trade happened, I was not happy watching them play together. And then Dante Pettis has not really panned out the way you probably hope he would have so far.
Right.
Man, but your defense is really good. It's really
I
good.
wasn't I wasn't that upset when he actually left. I mean, the guy's like 32, 33,
Oh yeah,
not even
yeah,
6 feet
yeah.
tall. I mean, he's not like a number one receiver. I don't think
Sure,
that he is.
sure.
Maybe he was like 5 years ago.
Oh
Um,
right.
I'm
Yeah,
actually really, really, really excited about our core. Like obviously Pettis is kind of a bust, but I still have faith that he's gonna come through. Debo Samuel,
oh yeah, he's good.
monster,
Yeah, he's good.
monster.
Yeah,
And then we drafted Brandon Ayuk
I
in the
have no
first
idea who
round
he is. Where'd he
in the
come
last
from?
draft.
Your first round pick
Arizona, our first round pick.
was a receiver.
So
Dang.
so so we actually had two. We had two first round picks this year. So we got Kinlaw, and then we got Ayuk, and then Jalen Hurd, who didn't play a single game last year, so he's technically a rookie
Sure.
this year.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
I hate talking about the Niners. I'm sorry. I'm trying to like super is, but it's just oh my god, man. It's I've told you about I lived in Ohio for a year and I wore this
Oh, that's
49er
right.
hat for like I mean a couple of years. Like when we got to Seattle, I actually didn't know what teams belonged where. I was like 6,
Mm-hmm.
at that point. I just knew it was an SF, but I didn't know what San Francisco meant or anything at that point. But drives me nuts to keep talking about them. All right, dude. So I'm gonna have a over and under, and I just made this up as the Lou Williams story came up. So I'll give you a number, and you tell me if you think it's over and under. You don't have to tell me how much more over, how much under, unless you feel like it. And the Lou Williams number came from the number you texted me. So Lou Williams allegedly went to Magic City to get food out of the bubble. Over or under 10 dancers. Over and under. Over or under.
I'm going way over.
Way over. Way over.
Way over.
Way over.
This is a guy who is famous for being a polygamist, who openly flaunts the fact that he has multiple girlfriends at the same time.
I mean, he
Way
is
over. 10 is a little low.
he's a childhood little Bow Wow friend, right? Lou Williams.
Way over.
Way over.
I'm going like 20. 20.
20? Oh my god.
20. At the same time.
Is what does it say about the NBA bubble if before the season starts that people are already leaving to do stuff already? Like I'm not entirely sure how much they go out during a season, but it seems like a lot, right? Like they've only been there. He's only been
Oh
there
yeah, it's a lot.
a week, 10 days, like, and he already leaves, and that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me.
Well, yeah, I've been seeing multiple players getting excused absences to leave the bubble.
I don't get how like I thought they were supposed to quarantine for like a week when they come back. But I'm seeing
I
like
think it's
4
8 days.
days. But like I saw Zion for 4 days or something like that. It's
So I read that anyone who leaves the bubble must get tested every single day while they're out of the bubble.
how are
So
they?
I think those results have something to do with how long you have to quarantine.
I don't even understand how they're getting tested every day when they're not in the bubble. Like, how is this happening? Like, are just hella tests available or something? All right, man. Kevin Garnett supposedly is in a group by the Timberwolves, right? So I don't know if he's gonna get it or not, but over or under, whoever wins the bid for the Timberwolves, 1.5 billion. Over or under.
Wow. I'm gonna go under simply because Minnesota is not a hotbed for sports, especially basketball. I mean, how much can you charge per seat more than like a Laker game or Warriors game? Those seats can't be like that much.
Oh no, I
You know
don't
what I
think
mean?
so. I don't
So
think so. Yeah.
I wouldn't think that a team in Minnesota would sell for even close to 1.5 billion. Do you?
I don't think they should either, but I think the Bucks when they were sold was it 1.2 or something like that. So like, and that was it's
Holy
been a little
shit.
right. So like, you know, I can't believe these franchises are worth so much. You know, like when Ballmer bought the Clippers and he was bidding, I literally thought we were getting the Clippers. I thought we were getting the Clippers, like they were gonna
Right,
move
right.
to
Yeah.
Seattle and all that. And then when
So
I
did
saw
I.
the number 2.2 billion, I was like, there's no way he's moving them. Because the value of the franchise will go down so much when you move it from LA to Seattle, and it's never gonna be 2.2. But now that I think of it, maybe if he plays there if he's there for a while and he moves later, all these franchises are gonna be worth over 2 billion at some point. This is crazy to me.
Yeah. I agree.
This is
I
crazy to
agree.
me. But you said under. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, I don't know, man. These like rich people.
I think more so that I don't think KG is going to get it. I saw that the front runner now is the
Yeah,
owner of the Vikings,
yeah. I saw
and
that
they
too.
probably have a lot more pool, a lot more money, a lot more cash flow now up front.
I don't know who's on KG's group, like who's the main investor, but I really hope whoever wins the bid will include KG in it. Like I would love to see KG be a part of ownership for the
Oh yeah, for
Timberwolves.
sure.
Yeah.
I
But
agree.
yeah, 1.5 is crazy. The Seahawks outbid the 49ers and traded for Jamal Adams today. It was a over or under. The Seahawks will win 2 Super Bowls during the Russ Jamal Adams era.
Wow, look at you, Mike, coming up with some crazy ass questions, dude. No, two. No, yeah, under for sure. Two is a
Under
little bit high, bro. I'll give you one. I'll give you one.
2 is high.
Trying
I
trying to
mean,
be fair and just. I'll give you one.
sure, because winning 2 Super Bowls is incredibly hard. It's just hard.
I'll give you
Yeah,
one.
it's just hard. Um,
I mean, it hurt me to even say that, but
oh, I'm sure. What's his name? On the Chiefs said they're chasing MJ, like they're going for 7 Super Bowls, and I was like, what?
right.
I was like,
I saw that.
7? Let's get the 2
I
first.
think that was Tyreek Hill.
Oh yeah, I think it was. Yeah. And I mean, and maybe you should wait to see if you get paid first too. Like the NFL's notorious just doesn't pay receivers, so it's
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
And he's small. He's only like 5'9".
Man, he's fast. He's fast.
Yeah, it's quick.
All right, dude. We're gonna go pass over and under, and I'm gonna give you this or that. So I'm gonna give you 2 scenarios, and you pick this or that. First is
All right.
Tim Hardaway or Steph Curry.
Ooh, see now, see. I mean, yeah, obviously I have to go with Steph simply because he's done so much more. But Tim Bug is like
Oh
my
man,
my guy, like Tim
man,
Bug for
yeah.
me. But yeah, I mean, obviously Steph. I have to go with Steph as the greatest warrior of all time. But
Yeah.
Tim Hardaway is like one of my idols.
Oh man, he was killer when he was on the Warriors and the Heat too. But man, on the Warriors, oh.
On the Warriors, he still had one good knee. On the Heat, he had 2 bad knees.
Yeah, which is crazy. All right, this or that. All right, I'm gonna give you 2 players, and you get to keep them for the rest of their careers. 2 players that the Warriors lost, and you get to keep them for the rest of their careers. Chris Webber or Gilbert Arenas.
Oof. No, Weber all day.
Okay. Yeah, judging
Weber
by
all
what you
day.
said earlier, yeah.
Weber all day.
Okay. All right. This or that. Coach Steve Kerr or Bill Walsh?
Bill Walsh as a coach or as a
Yes.
player?
Coach.
No, come on. Bill Walsh as a coach?
Wait, am I getting my names mixed up? The 49ers, right?
Well, okay, so we're going two different sports, correct?
Yes, we are.
Okay, if we're going two different sports, if we're going legacy-wise, if we're going player personnel-wise, yeah, I have to take Bill Walsh over Steve Kerr because Steve Kerr was a pretty bad GM with the Suns. So I think that's not even close. If we're going to talk about, if we're going to split it up.
He said, Mike D'Antoni said, I want to go fast. He said, okay. And he got Shaq next to Amari in Phoenix. Oh, man.
Yeah, I have to go Bill Walsh in a landslide. Because he was the GM and the coach, and he had a whole system. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So on this 49er team, your squad, this or that, would you rather have Joe Montana or Steve Young?
Damn, bro, you hit me with some straight up lasers. I would have to go Steve Young only because the league is trending towards mobile QBs that can, even if they scramble, they still have to throw while scrambling. So I'm not talking about just